Apparently, they're at least going to look into impeaching Joe Biden. That's McCarthy's move right here, even though they obviously don't have the Senate, so the guy's not going to be impeached. Okay, fine. But I thought more interesting than the decision to at least have this inquiry was the media's immediate reaction to this thing. Don't look at that. Whatever you do, don't look over there. Check out this compilation.
You know, the president has been in politics for a long time, and I think, as he would say, he's seen a lot of malarkey along the way, but this might take the cake.
This is all smoke and no fire.
What a waste of time and money.
Have you seen said evidence?
No, not a scintilla of evidence.
There is not a shred of evidence that President Joe Biden has engaged in wrongdoing.
No business dealings of Hunter Biden's or anyone's was discussed in these conversations.
Smoke, malarkey, shred, scintilla, nothing. I don't know, maybe bank accounts. How did he become a multimillionaire while as a humble public servant all these years? Why was his crackhead son working at a Ukrainian energy company? Does any of this work for you people? But how about some of that evidence? I'm going to have to read a little of the evidence for you fine people. This is from the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. Devin Archer alone was aware of at least 20 times in which then Vice President spoke on speakerphone with Hunter Biden's foreign business associates. Democrats would have Americans believe that these phone calls with then Vice President Biden were simply to discuss the weather. In February 2014, then Vice President Joe Biden dined with oligarchs from Russia and Kazakhstan who funneled millions of dollars to Hunter Biden and his business associates. In April 2015, then Vice President Biden dined with Hunter Biden's foreign business associates, including Ukrainian Burisma executive Vadim Poharsky. Burisma was then being investigated by Ukrainian prosecutor General Viktor Shokin for corruption. In 2015, then Vice President Biden hosted Hunter Biden and Devin Archer and other business associates at the official residence of the vice president. The topic of discussion was filling the top seat at the United Nations. The Kazakhstani government official who wanted the UN position attended both dinners at Cafe Milano with then Vice President Biden. You know, we have a ton more here, but let's just come back to me because I think people broadly get the point. Joe Biden has repeatedly said he never discussed business with his son. Karol, what kind of father would that make him at the very least?
Right, a loving father who absolutely discussed business with his son. What about the text from Hunter to his sister saying, "I'm not going to make you give me half your salary like Pop does"?
Yeah.
How come Hunter never gets asked about any of this? How come none of them get asked about this? There's no evidence because nobody has looked for any of the evidence. Nobody has asked any of the questions that, lead to finding the evidence. I think the things that you have presented is evidence, but if people need more, they can simply ask questions, because I've last heard that that's what journalists are supposed to do. I get that it's a Democrat, so they don't do it for them, but maybe they should start.
Right, Democrat privilege. But Josh, if they want evidence, wouldn't the simple thing, and it seems like they have it, just be looking at bank accounts, just be looking at Hunter Biden bank accounts and Joe Biden family bank accounts and go, where did all of this money come? How is it that Joe Biden is worth 20 or 30 or more million dollars? How did Hunter Biden with no skills get this job at this thing? On top of the fact that he's an artist, which the easiest, quote unquote artist, the easiest way to money launder is have a crackhead use a crayon and then give him a shit ton of money. Pardon my French.
Yeah, no, I mean, as we see all the time in politics, these people that serve in Washington, D.C. in the swamp for 30, 40, 50 plus years in the case of Joe Biden, they somehow managed to get awfully rich off of it. Funny how that works, right? Yeah. But part of the reason why Kevin McCarthy had to do this is that the administration has been, shall we say, less than forthcoming when it comes to trying to suss out many of the details pertaining to these overseas dealings.